What's good, y'all? It's your boy Reggie back with another edition of RTS. And today, you gotta tip your hat off to the Green Bay Packers. They won this game fair and easy. The Commanders could just look a little better, just a little better. And if we really want to be honest, the past 2 weeks, especially for that offense, has been so anemic. Like it's not the same offense that I saw from last year, too. And it just makes me wonder what the hell is going on. I mean, Lord have mercy. Like it looks like we've been showing our age. Before the season even started, we somebody that does all these type of stats calculate all the NFL team average age, and apparently we had the oldest NFL roster average age of 31 and a half. And when you think about it, it looked weird because I'm saying, how did we just get last year? We was one of the youngest to now we're one of the oldest. When you thinking about guys we signed 45-year-old Von Miller, and we signed 30 something year old Dietrich Wise, which we're gonna talk about him and this injury he has. But all these guys, older guys we signed for whatever reason, it seems like a master dump, not a master class, master dump. And it came back to bite us last night because on a short week, after facing the Giants, yeah, you want the veterans to play, but yeah, they just get old. And the older you get, the more you don't feel like playing on a short week. And that's just what happened. The Packers have one of the youngest team, and the Commanders has one of the oldest team. And you show and you prevail. So I can't be complaining. But there's four guys on your screen that needs to be blamed. Well, I don't want to say blamed, but there's four guys that conversations should be had about. Dan Quinn, Joe Witt, Cliff Kingsbury, and Adam Peters. These four are the reason that why, in my opinion, the Commanders' offseason was a disaster. These four with non-preparation, non non-preparation, non just everything from top to bottom, scouting, getting the right pieces for our team. They have failed. And it's time I have a conversation. And I want to give my man John Q from Clock in Here Sports. He has a great channel. I'll put the description of his Instagram page so y'all can go ahead and check it out. But I want to give him a lot of credit because he was talking about the Giants in Washington, and I agree with every sentiment he said. He said, in order for the Commanders to reach the promised land, he said Terry McLaurin is going to have to be the guy. He's going to have to be the one. And we knew that, but the way he emphasized it was very important because through two games, yes, we're 1-1, but the connection between Jay Daniels and Terry McLaurin looked worse than last year. Yeah, it didn't start off slow, yes, but by week three, the connection was there. But something, in my opinion, just feels different this time. And maybe that's because the contract held up that forced Terry McLaurin to use a negotiation tactic in requesting a trade, and it's getting all leaked out and all that stuff. And that became more of a problem than a help. And where I blame Adam Peters is because you want to say, oh, yeah. And reportedly, you didn't want to pay Terry McLaurin because you was looking at analytics, and analytics said, "Oh yeah, when you over the age of 30, this is what the market said your value at, and we just don't think we can give you past market value because yeah, you're at that age." But here's the problem with what Adam Peters said. You didn't care about. analytics when you traded for Debo Samuel, who was maybe coming on one of the worst years, if not the worst year of his career in San Francisco. So not only you traded for him, but he had no guarantees when you traded for him. So he could have been easily playing on that whatever contract that he had before you restructured it to give him $20 million guaranteed for a prove it deal. But you didn't care, Debo, about, oh yeah. You didn't, excuse me, you didn't care, Adam Peters, about, oh yeah, well, Debo didn't have a good year. You cared about your loyalty to Debo because Debo was a 49er and that's where you came from. But what you did was you made an assumption about something that did not make no sense. In a way, it makes sense because, yeah, market analytics said at this age, the market value for a wide receiver is this. But at the end of the time, although Debo's 29, what made Debo get 20 million? At that point, it's like there's nothing to prove. And I can go on all day about this, but it pisses me off that the way this got prolonged because, of course, Terry was going to hold in and not risk anything. So then you losing time, you losing connection. Just because I'm on your team doesn't mean, just because I'm on your team for 5 years doesn't mean we need connections. Because you know why? Because the more reps we get, when it translates in game, it's gonna feel smoother. It's gonna feel better. The transition is gonna be, I won't say faster, but smoother, and it's gonna feel good. And then by the time Terry McLaurin signed that extension, it was what? Maybe a week and a half, maybe two at best, weeks before training camp. I mean, not training camp, before the regular season started. Not only he had to get back into football, I don't think Terry was fat per se, but he had lost football shape. So now Terry McLaurin is treating these first 4 games as a training camp plus preseason. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Terry McLaurin is gonna get back to being the Terry McLaurin until week 5. And then the question becomes, will the damage be done? Because I'm telling you, the next 3 games that the Commanders have. And they could easily go 0-3. I don't think they're gonna go 0-3 because they got too much talent on that team. But I would not be surprised if they go 0-3. And that's the Raiders, that's the Falcons, and that's the Chargers. I'm gonna say that again. The next 3 games: Raiders, Falcons, Chargers. If you're a betting man, you're saying they win at least one of them games. Maybe the Raiders next week, but even the Raiders aren't even a guaranteed team. You just saw how they looked against the Patriots. Now we're gonna see how they look Monday night against the Chargers. But look at the Chargers. They look like they were good. Yeah, Falcons. Yeah, maybe offensively they look good. Defensively could be, but they got pieces on defense that they improve. Think about it. They beat a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team 23-20, and it took a touchdown being Mecca Ubuka. I hope I said your name right. To even get the 23 points. So defensively, they did improve. They did. But it's frustrating because when you and I and this is where the frustration comes. And maybe me being a Commanders fan has its up and its downs. Trust me, as a Commanders fan, this is the first time in my life where I've seen any championship game of sort, conference or Super Bowl. Last year. The last time the Commanders went to the conference championship game and the Super Bowl was 3 decades ago. So Commanders fan know the pain. Commanders fan know the feeling. But sometimes it's not about the loss itself. It's how do you look in that loss? And the way the Commanders look in that loss prove they don't even think they can even get a shot at the playoffs this year, let alone the Super Bowl. So I think Commanders fans were a little confident after the first game. It was somewhat me because I say, look, the defense has been the sorting issue, which is why I blame both Joe Witt and Dan Quinn. And I'm going to give out a hot take. Either the both of them have go, or you gotta fire Joe Witt. Because I don't think the two of them together is good. Now, some commanders, man, want Joe Witt fired. And I will agree with that. I don't think Joe Witt, let me phrase that. I think Joe Witt is a good coordinator. I don't think he's the right coordinator for this team. And everybody said, oh, well, Joe Witt calling the play. But I'm gonna be honest, Dan Quinn's a defensive mastermind too. So he has input on that defense as well. I am not sure if Joe Witt is calling all the plays. That's why I'm holding the jury out on him. Because for me, I am thinking this is a collaborative effort. Yeah, Joe Witt not doing his job as D coordinator, but Dan Quinn is the one that keeps calling input too. And then we're gonna get to the offensive side because that was the one that was disappointing. Cliff Kingsbury, a guy that at Texas Tech with Patrick Mahomes had a bad record. A guy that came to the NFL when he shouldn't got a head coaching job. Went to the Cardinals, had a bad record overall with the Cardinals. Then everybody, he goes to the Commanders, gets his quarterback in Jane Daniels, and first year, they look great. But that second half of the season, everybody was talking. Can Cliff Kingsbury keep up the offensive scheme and genius that he is? And he did somewhat, or he probably did good. The next year comes, and you're saying, yeah, with more talent, shucks, this offense should be even better. And it's not. It's basically got worse. And when you're looking at this offense, what's the deep threat? You don't have a bona fide deep threat. Your bona fide deep threat is a rookie in Jalen Lane. And I know he's not even ready yet. He may not be, he may be a project. That's a pick that 'cause we could have got Luther Burden for this team. And what happened? Adam Peter decided to go with Jalen Lane. So why? Because he looked like a Terry replacement. And I'm gonna be honest, he don't even look like a Terry replacement. He just looks like another guy that we reached on. A lot of questionable picks by Adam Peters over the last year. Marshawn Lattimore. It's starting to really piss me off. It's just no way that you are this trash. It's no way. It sucks, but it's just no way. Like I want him gone. And I'm gonna end it off with this. Jay and Dan's gotta play better. He knows. And maybe I'm too hard on Jaden because this is his second year. But the type of throws you've been missing the past couple games, it's just like mind-boggling. Because he's hit those throws before. But it's like, oh, are you seriously not again? And the truth is, if you ask me right now, is there a concern? Yes, there's concern. But it's only week two. So there won't be panic. There's concern, but there won't be panic. But I think the only saving grace in this situation, they get 10 days off, they go back home, and they face a Raiders team that roster wise look good, but in terms of keep building, maybe not fair yet. And I don't know, the Raiders could mess around and not mess with. We just let Tucker Craft get 100 and something yards. And on the Raiders, Brock Bowers was there. You don't think Brock Bowers might get 150 easily? We couldn't really stop Josh Jacobs. So you don't think Ashton Genty may have his best game of his career yet if he don't have it Monday against the Chargers? So yeah, it's concerned. And I'm gonna leave this with this final stat. Terry McLaurin in 2 games has had 7 receptions on 13 targets, 75 total yards. I'm gonna repeat that again. 17 recep no, not 17, excuse me. 7 receptions, 13 targets, total 75 receiving yards. What he has done in 2 games is what people, including himself, has done in a game. That shows you the disaster the Commanders are in. And I'm gonna give my man John Hugh from Clockin Sports here credit. And I hope I didn't say your IG wrong. I'm gonna post in the description. Terry McLaurin is the engine that needs to go ahead and start running. If he's not great, this team won't be great. And if he's not great, expect the playoffs to be a no-go this year. And then questions are about to be start rumbling. Who needs to be fired first? Because the fact that you kept this same coaching staff and you did worse than last year, questions about to start arise. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Today is not a good day for me. I'm sick to my stomach. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new. I'm out. Congrats to the Packers and their fans for winning.